Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast. I am your host, Richie, here with my guys, Mr. Brett Bandick, Winter Haven, Florida, window 2. Mr. Idris Salam, North Carolina, window 1. I am your host, Richie, St. Cloud, Florida, window 3. Tonight, we are hitting on the NFL divisional preview round. And we are also going to continue to inform you about our takes on the ever-moving theme of the coaching carousel around the NFL. Mike McCarthy not out in Dallas as of right now. It could change.
Nah.
Could. Yeah, they're going to keep him.
Per Adam Schefter 30 minutes ago, Dallas is not making a head coaching change, and Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy is returning. Unbelievable. How do you keep that job secure after what went down? I will not understand that.
This is the same owner that kept Jason Garrett
way too long. Way too long. That is a true shock to me. Really it is. I just don't understand it. How do you get beat by the Green Bay Packers? Those kind of expectations, and you're not going to make a change there when you have Bill Belichick on the market and John Harbaugh?
As bad as they got beat at that.
Jim Harbaugh, excuse me. I just don't understand. That is mind-blowing.
You get boat raced on your home field by the youngest team in the league since 1970, a first-year starter with 2 rookies on the corners catching the ball.
I have no words. I have no words for that, dude. That is insane to me. How do you avoid getting canned? How?
Well, listen, I know you boys in the NFC East are extremely happy that McCarthy's going to stay.
Jerry Jones.
Yeah, I think he's a great regular season head coach, but going into postseason, he really hasn't proved anything with his team, and I don't see it happening next year. You know what I mean? Like even with a healthy roster, if Diggs comes back healthy, if he comes back healthy, I mean, yeah, the defense is going to improve, but the play calling and just the energy was not there that Sunday, and that falls on coaching.
She's
you know what I mean?
Right. Shout out to Jerry Jones.
Shout out to Miss. What's going on? Me in the building.
Long live Jerry Jones. She's got it right, dude. As Giant fans, we often chuckle about this, that while they have had our number and we have our own share of issues, as long as Jerry Jones is running this thing, hey, man, it's similar to what we complain about as Yankee fans with the Steinbrenner kids and with James Dolan, who he might have some issues. We're going to hit on that at show's end, Idris and I. Brett, not to interrupt you, continue your point.
Yeah, I just, like I said, the energy wasn't there. The play calling was absolute trash. They just didn't seem prepared, or they didn't want to play. I don't know. It's like they just weren't even there that day. And by the time they finally caught wind of what was happening, it was already too late. You know what I mean? So it's just, that all falls on coaching. And it's just, I don't see them, next year. I mean, the same thing can happen next year. Like I said, McCarthy's a great regular season head coach, but he hasn't proved anything to me come postseason unless he has Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback.
You know the way I see it, and someone made a point that Green Bay was smart to take the toss and go downfield first, because that Cowboy team never had to play from behind. And when they jumped out 14-0, you could look at Dak on the sideline. He had that look like, oh, shit.
Yes.
He looked scared straight. And then they go down, they get up 20-0 on the pick 6. The defense, the scooping scores didn't happen. Dak wasn't playing well. Now you're down 3 touchdowns. What I say, them palms start getting sweaty when you get behind, because you got all that pressure on you because you're the Cowboys. You beat everybody's brains in their home. Now you got to come back, and if you blow it, you're going to be the laughing stock. pressure is a bitch, man.
That's a valid point because it's been a theme that a lot of analysts brought to our attention over the course, even with the Eagles too, that certain teams, you need to get up on them early. They don't play the same. And it was a question, even, longtime contributor to the Jordan Patrick Show, my guy Elliot, who's a Cowboys fan, often spoke about that, we're a different team when we're playing from behind. And I don't think Mike McCarthy is a bad coach by any means, because I said this before, I'll say it again. I think the biggest fail in Sunday's loss to the Green Bay Packers was actually on the defense.
Yeah.
They're going to talk about Dak and Mike, and rightfully so. But when Dan Quinn's defense gets just undressed the way they did, Dallas's offense made their share of mistakes, but I said it on the last show. When you score 32 points and you still lose, that's on the defense. They could not stop Green Bay at any juncture on any drive of any part of that game.
You know what?
Yeah.
And this is what I was telling Cowboy fans between Dak and Romo. I seen Romo bring the Cowboys back from 14 down.
Absolutely.
I seen him do it. He didn't have good defenses. They got down early. He brought those teams back. I haven't seen Dak bring them back 14 and 20 points down.
In the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter is where he did most of his damage.
I've seen Romo do it. Yeah.
The only time that Romo had a championship caliber defense was when it was too late in his career and his body was already starting to break down. And I revisiting the 2016 season, which was Dak's rookie year, and they also happened to play Green Bay that year as well. If Romo starts that game, I actually think that the Cowboys would have won, but I understand why they chose Dak. Dak got him there. But, I think we've had enough of both Romo and Dak to make an assessment, and I'm just going to say what I've seen. Romo's a better quarterback. That's all I got. It's not even an indictment of Dak, but I'm sorry. When I look at what Dak has on the other side of the football, Romo never had that until the end.
Romo had this right here, that heart.
Yeah. He had that heart, and his football IQ is freaking through the roof, man. Just listening to him commentate and call plays before it happens. I love that.
Listening to him. I love listening to him.
Yeah, like his IQ is through the roof. So it's just, I don't know. It's like Richie, what you said. I think them keeping McCarthy is stupid. I don't know how that guy can still have a job.
I'm glad.
It's insane.
It's bigger than McCarthy. I don't necessarily know how Dan Quinn right now is safe.
Yeah.
I mean, Dan Quinn, I still believe potentially could end up in Seattle. See, this is the thing that makes it interesting. With Dan Quinn's stock possibly dropping and not being as hot as he was, say, 2 weeks ago, maybe if I'm Dallas, the only thing that I could come up with is if they let Mike do another year, maybe in the back of their brain, they're thinking Dan Quinn replaces him, something that Zappy suggested time and time again. But I'm sorry. You have a chance to score Bill Belichick, I'm at least making the phone call. That's just me, though.
Dan Quinn, great defense, but like last year, he never adjusted. They never stopped the run. They never were. You can't run nickel and dime defenses against a team that's running right up the middle. Why are you running nickel and dime defense?
And listen, I like Aaron Jones. I do. But I haven't seen Aaron Jones do that in quite some time.
Same. That kid was running hard and downfield and fast.
Imagine Dillon was playing.
Yeah.
Now, Jordan Love, bottom line, you can't say enough about him. Jordan Love, just flat out phenomenal. And we're going to hit on the Packers in just a bit. But while we're on the theme of coaches, Bill Belichick, guys, as you know, Gerard Mayo, his former player, took over. I would imagine that Bill O'Brien, unless if he gets a different kind of offer to leave for a head coaching position or something better, he may very well be back as the OC. As Belichick goes, we know that the Falcons interviewed both he and Jim Harbaugh. I still lean towards Harbaugh going to the Chargers. Does that mean that Bill is really going to go to the Falcons? Does Bill sit out a year and kind of weigh the NFL landscape? What do you guys think about this?
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry, dude. No, I as of right now, I see him. It's a 70-30 shot, but I can actually see him going towards the Chargers at the moment, just because they already have a superstar caliber quarterback already there.
You're talking about Bill?
Yeah. So I think Bill will go to the West Coast. Go to that division. Play against Andy Reid. The Chargers already have a talented defense. They just need the right pieces and the right scheme to really take over that division. Like I said, they already have a superstar caliber quarterback, 3 Pro Bowl receivers, and a Pro Bowl running back if they play their cards right. So I can honestly see him going there, just because they're already kind of set up for success. And he goes to Atlanta, they're going to have to build a quarterback, whether it be through the draft. Their defense is good, but not great. Really the only difference is they play in a dome. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I don't, that would be the only reason going there. And it's because of Atlanta's quarterback issue right now. Otherwise he's going to be there and have to build up a quarterback in his system. I just think it's too late in his career to start building a quarterback when he can already go to the Chargers, where he's already got a great quarterback as it is.
I think you're putting that word "great" a little too easily on Justin Herbert. Greatness comes with wins there, Bretsky. Great.
Well, I said superstar first, but he has potential to be great. And if Belichick coaches him the way that he coaches everybody in the league, he absolutely does have potential to be.
Okay, yeah, Richie.
No, that's good. I'm going to hold my thought. You wait a second. I'll wait a second, rather.
I'm going
backwards.
I'm going Harbaugh to LA, to the Chargers, because he got California roots. He got a quarterback there. He's good with quarterbacks.
And he's a former quarterback.
The only issue he would have with the Chargers is their cap. They got a lot of money tied up in. You got Eckler coming up. You got Williams. You got Herbert just got $55 million.
There's going to be a little suffering before they could maximize that roster.
And Bill going to Atlanta, too, you got to get a quarterback. But when he started out with New England, Tom Brady was just the average guy. He'll build that defense up. And they can draft a quarterback. They got the 8th pick this year. And there's so many quarterbacks. We got 5 quarterbacks coming out this year. And not everyone in the top 10 needs a quarterback. So he'll get a quarterback. And it's building that defense. And they got a ground game, Algiers and Robinson. So he can get a decent quarterback. And
you also have some great receiving options there.
Yeah, if you can get the tight end to catch, but yeah,
This is what I see. And while Atlanta still might be a viable option for Bill,
yeah,
dude, don't sleep on the Commanders just yet. Because I still think that you have a possibility where you could have a working relationship that sees Bill Belichick, the head coach, and Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator.
And look who they got as a GM. They got a damn good GM there now. Not to mention that ownership is going to push the envelope, because whenever you have Magic Johnson involved, you know that he's not going to accept mediocrity. Sam Howell is not going to be the guy. No.
Some mocks have Drake May out of UNC going there. Now, this is just not a team that needs a quarterback. This is a team that has to redo the defense. This is a team that has to redo the offensive line. But I do believe that with the support that Bill will get in that division, that could be a viable option. Where else could be a possibility? I certainly wasn't thinking Tennessee, but I guess you have to consider Tennessee. Atlanta, maybe. But Washington, I would not count them out just yet on landing Bill. Vrabel is another guy that could end up in Washington. I could see Vrabel in Washington. But, yes, I do agree with you, Idris, on Harbaugh landing with the LA Chargers, because it just makes too much sense. You're trying to get a quarterback to the next level? You need a former quarterback getting them there.
Bill to Washington, Vrabel to Atlanta. I say Vrabel to Atlanta because
or Bieniemy if Bieniemy
because he got a running game down there, and that's what Vrabel had in Tennessee, basically a running game. He had Derrick Henry. He had.
And speaking of the King, I am curious to see where he's going to get relocated to. If there would be, I don't think just because it's the head coach that means that he follows him. I do think he'll be out of Tennessee. I don't necessarily think that means he follows him to a place like Atlanta if he wants to, because there ain't really any room for Derrick Henry there. They got
what they need, running backs. Yeah, they're good.
Correct. There are teams that could use a Derrick Henry. I'm just not convinced that's the shoot. You're telling me that Dallas couldn't benefit getting a Derrick Henry?
Yeah,
or Buffalo.
Their cap, dude. They got, like I said, they got to pay Dak 60 this year, and they got to pay CD, and they got Micah, and they got Pollard. It's a lot of money they got to kick out, man.
That's a lot to allocate for 4 players. And this is going to be an ever-growing thing. As the season draws near to the close, this is where even more head coaching stuff is going to heat up, in addition to the MLB hot stove, in addition to the NBA. But, just a weird offseason, not to mention that with quarterbacks. Yeah. A guy like a Kirk Cousins who brings something left to the table. Where's he going to go? That's a guy that could help a head coach.
Yeah.
When you could draft a quarterback, a bridge, bring in a Kirk Cousins. He could go back to Washington. He could go to Atlanta.
I was going to say Atlanta.
Yeah, there's a possibility that Kirk Cousins could be playing for one of these teams. But we're going to move it into our playoff game. Saturday, game 1. We've got the number 1 seeded AFC leading Baltimore Ravens hosting the Houston Texans, 11-7 at 12-5. Similar to last week, the Texans will once again look to avenge a regular season loss. The Ravens defeated the Texans in week 1. Last week, the Texans shut down the Browns' offense. Quarterback C.J. Stroud, we know what he did, and he is going to be the story of the game for many reasons. But the God's honest truth why this game went the Texans' way was because Joe Flacco just had a horrific game. He could not stop throwing picks, untimely. Only 2 Browns showed up on offense, Kareem Hunt, David Njoku. But, they had a good season. They'll get back. We'll figure out what Flacco's future holds. But right now,
why did Cleveland fire Van Pelt, the OC?
Sometimes people make knee-jerk reactions when something shocking like that happens. That was a little weird to me. I didn't quite get that one. I don't have an answer for that one. That was strange. All I could say is that sometimes, hey, Dallas, learn something there. React. We react when and this is the Browns. This is the Browns, mind you.
It's the Browns. You're right.
They overachieved, but the Browns have been known to overreact and sometimes not react. They are the Browns. These are the former Browns, and they, in my opinion, are the best team in professional football.
Yeah.
Keys to victory, in my opinion, for the Baltimore Ravens. You have to make C.J. Stroud uncomfortable. You have to lure him into throwing into danger zones.
Yeah.
Parts of the field that look like he could be locating the ball to the likes of a Nico Collins, and next thing you know, he's getting pick sixed. He's making mistakes. I believe that the Baltimore Ravens are going to be the most complex defense he has dealt with this entire season. And on the offensive side of the ball for the Ravens, Lamar Jackson has grown this year as a pocket presence. It helps when you have an Odell Beckham Jr., not because of the fact that Odell is going to be the guy that he was with the Giants or the Rams. It's more so because he is a master of the route tree. And when he is on the field, just his presence alone opens it up for the younger thoroughbreds that are starting to get into the league. The guys like the Zay Flowers and others, and they're fast, and they are still learning. Mark Andrews making progress. There is a possibility he may return for these playoffs. Isaiah Likely has been awesome. That is pretty crazy. this is a team that is super adaptable. You know, they have constantly lost running backs. They could run the rock with the best of them, regardless of who's back there. And although the Texans have been a hell of a story, I think that not only do they meet their match, I think they're going to eat some serious humble pie here. I got the Ravens winning big. I'm going Ravens 37, Texans 20. I think Ravens by 17, and it might not even look as close as that. This is a big one for Lamar's legacy. This is a big one for Lamar's reputation. This is a guy that once before was the 1 seed. His season ended abruptly. He wants to change the narrative and flip the narrative that he's a big game quarterback. And this is his opportunity to take the first big step. He wins this game, and he will be 1 game away from the Super Bowl, waiting on the winner of Mahomes and Allen. This is a quarterback-driven league, boys. And in the year 2024 right now, Mahomes, Allen, and Mr. Jackson are the 3 best quarterbacks in the AFC. No knock on the young man, C.J. Stroud. No knock on the injured Joe Burrow. But in this very moment, those are the top 3 in my opinion. And those are the top 3 that are going to decide this shit. I got the Ravens by 17. I'm sorry, D'Amico Ryans. I got nothing but love and respect for you. You're going to win the coach of the year. Your quarterback's going to win the rookie of the year. But the guy you're playing is going to win the MVP. And he's going to show why he's the MVP this week.
Everything you said, I don't think they'll score that much, Baltimore, but I think it'll be a runaway. I'm going to go 31 to 18. I think that defense is going to get at C.J. Stroud like they did the first time. I think Stroud will do better, but
yes, he will do better.
And I don't think the moment's going to be too big for him, but Lamar got something to prove this year. He knows I can't go home early. I'm the MVP. I just got to keep doing what I'm doing. Likely,
there's a lot on the reputation line here for Lamar. Really, truly.
Yeah, likely that guy just came out of nowhere, man, and he just filled the shoes of Mark Andrews. Like, hey, I got this. Just throw me the ball. I got it.
There was a short sample size last year. He had short duty last year when Andrews was dinged up a little. Mm-hmm. This year he had a bigger role, and he proved it.
He proved it. So I'm gonna go 34. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to be like, I'm gonna have to go 34-20.
Similar to my score. So you got them by 2 scores at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be catch up though.
Something tells me Brett's gonna get that look in his eyes, like he's gonna call an upset or something ridiculous.
You are 100% right. I am calling the upset.
Baltimore 10 or something like that.
I am calling the upset, boys. Look, we had what 3 upsets happen this past weekend. It's going to continue. We had this conversation before the last game of the regular season. Okay, Baltimore should have played their starters. They did not. They did not play their starters. They lost the last game of the year, and now they've had 2 weeks off. They are going to be rusty as shit. Houston is gonna come out blazing. They're hot. They're gonna get a nice, strong lead. I'd say it's gonna be like a 20-3 lead at halftime, 20-6. They're gonna hold them off. Baltimore's gonna try to fight back. Lamar's gonna make mistakes. Houston is gonna come out on top of this matchup on the road with the upset, 29-27. Advancing.
Wait a minute. Did you just say they're going to be up 20-3 or something?
20-6. 20-6 at halftime.
Okay.
20-6. Houston for the upset, boys. I'm going to keep it going.
Okay.
While I am impressed with what C.J. Stroud did last week, I think you're losing sight of one thing. Joe Flacco literally handed them that game last week.
Yeah.
Literally.
Second half.
Literally.
Crumbled.
I mean, Lamar can do the same. He hasn't taken a snap in 3 weeks.
Now it's 3 weeks. Brett.
A live snap.
You went from 2 weeks to 3 weeks. Brett, they rested in week 18. Everybody does that.
I know. He rested. Then they had a week off. Now it's a 3rd week.
Did it help the Steelers? Winning an emotional game against the Raven backups? Did it help in Buffalo?
No, they still lost.
Wild card weekend's over.
I'm still going with Houston. You're not going to change my mind. 29-27.
Oh, my God.
Well, he did say
29-27.
He did say shit rust, so.
Get me all angry like Skip with that Shannon Amazon. Put your glasses back on.
Good.
I don't
I'm banging my drum. I'm banging my drum.
All right. I mean, I respect you for having the audacity, but I think you're out of your mind. But you never know. We'll see. That's what makes the playoffs great.
That's why we play the game, boys.
Saturday game 2, Papa's Green Bay Packers at 10-8, traveling to the San Francisco 49ers, the NFC's best at 12-5. The Packers last week shocked the football world, becoming the first 7 seed to win a playoff game in a dominant 48-32 win over the Dallas Cowboys. The 49ers over the past few weeks have had Green Bay's past few years have had Green Bay's number. This dates back to the Aaron Rodgers era. They certainly didn't have it in the Brett Favre era. Point of emphasis for the Niners, in my opinion, is going to be to get CMC going early, not only in the run game, but also in the pass game, to try to overwhelm Green Bay for their big play options, and they have plenty. Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, as well as tight end George Kittle, and as I already stated, McCaffrey. Elijah Mitchell, you could see a sighting in short yardage situations as well. For the Packers to pull off another upset, it goes without saying that you have to make Brock Purdy uncomfortable. You have to limit CMC, force them to be a little imbalanced in the passing game. Mm-hmm. The health of Jair Alexander is going to be a huge telltale if Green Bay has the personnel to even attempt another miracle. And Green Bay has to just do what they do and do it confidently. Continue to run the ball, continue to sustain blocks, continue to keep Jordan Love clean. While I am very impressed with the great job that Coach Matt LaFleur has done with this team, and while I think that they are more than a year ahead of schedule, sadly, I think this is where Green Bay meets their match. I would love to see the Packers continue to win. It would be a great story. I don't have no love for the 49ers. I'm a Giants fan, but I'm telling the truth. I think this is where it ends for the Packers. In a valiant effort, the Green Bay Packers fall 34-24. They will not get embarrassed. They will play hard, but the 49ers are a superior team. And the 49ers are not the Dallas Cowboys. 34-24. 49ers at home going to the NFC title game, a place that the 49ers usually find themselves. Green Bay should give themselves a huge pat on the back for a great season, and they have a lot to look forward to going into 2024. But the 49ers will win this game and will wait on the winner of Detroit and Tampa.
Yeah, I'm on the same page with you, Rich. I don't see Shanahan making the same mistakes that McCarthy did. Kind of taking his team lightly. He's going to run the ball a hell of a lot more. They're not going to take this game for granted. So I think Purdy is going to have a decent game. All he has to do is to just control the clock, run the ball, manage the game, and San Fran will come out victorious. I'm going to say 33-21. Almost the same score as you, but I'm not going to say it's an easy win for San Fran, but I think this is a nice. It'll be a good game for Brock Purdy in particular.
Before I let Idris go, I just want to add one thing to that. In the event that Green Bay somehow does win, I want to say one thing. I believe that Green Bay is better than Detroit and Tampa. If Green Bay somehow wins this, they will win the NFC. That's all I'm going to say. If Green Bay beats the 49ers, they will beat the winner of Tampa and Detroit. But I just don't think they're going to win this game. I would like to see them win, but I don't think they're going to win.
I can agree with that. I'm going with y'all guys. I'm saying I thought about picking Green Bay, but I got to thinking Frisco is going to do what Dallas couldn't do.
Yes.
They're going to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to throw short passes. They're going to do everything Dallas didn't do, especially run the ball. They're going to attack that defensive line of Green Bay. They got too much on the corners for Green Bay to hold on to because we don't even know about Zaire Alexander if he's going to play or not.
Yeah, that is a big loss, dude. He's a top 5 cover corner.
Yeah, you got Mitchell, you got Ayuk, you got Deebo,
too many.
You got Kittle, you got too much, man.
Too much, bro.
Yeah,
not to mention one of the better O linemen in all of football, and Trent Williams.
Trent Williams, right? And on defense, you got Chase on one side, you got Bosa on the other side, and
that's a lot.
I'm
It's
gonna
an awful
go.
lot.
I'm gonna go 33-21 Frisco.
Yeah, same score.
Yeah, 33-21 Frisco.
Same score.
But just like you said, Richie, I think if by some way they beat Frisco, I think that's your NFC champion right there.
And listen, I'm not trying to diss the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Detroit Lions, but when I look at round 2 and that those guys playing, that is a weak matchup, all things considered. And I'm not trying to make fun of anybody, but what I do want to say, similar to what I said last week going into the Cowboy game, and I said it last week, if Green Bay is to win, I said last week, Dak Prescott has to have a stinker. He did.
He did.
If the Green Bay Packers are going to win this time, Brock Purdy has to have a stinker, or they have to injure him.
Yeah.
Of course, we don't wish that on no one. I'm just saying, just keeping it real. They got to injure him. But no, I think it's too much of a steep hill to climb this time around. I think the 49ers, I've been saying it all year. We know that the Ravens smacked them around on one Monday night earlier in the year. They might have a chance for redemption. But I still believe the San Francisco 49ers are the most complete team in the NFL. I've been saying it since preseason.
And see, with the Niners, they're not going to ask Purdy to win the game. They got too much. They like just get the ball to these guys. Just get it to CMC, get it to Ayuk.
There's going to be certain weeks where he plays that role because, for instance, let's look a week ahead. Let's assume the Lions win. The Lions secondary is incredibly leaky.
Yeah.
That could be the kind of week where Brock Purdy has like a historic NFC title game performance that looks something similar to what Kerry Collins did against the Minnesota Vikings 2.5 decades ago.
It's like 44-0, something like that. 40-0.
We beat them 41-0.
It was 41.
Collins had the game of his life.
He lit
That
him
could
up.
be something similar to what we see. I'm aggravated with Detroit and Tampa because the thing that I hate about that is that whoever wins that game is going to get stomped in the mud by the 49ers. At least if Green Bay wins, it'll be entertaining.
Yeah.
But Green Bay ain't winning, unfortunately. Prove me wrong, Packers. Prove me wrong. Prove us all wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time a playoff team won 3 games on the road was the G-Men. So I mean, and the G-Men beat the Packers at Lambeau that year. So history may show up here. You never know, boys. You never know.
It did happen, but I got to correct you on that. The last team that did that was actually the 2010 Green Bay Packers.
We actually won 4 in a row. We went
3 in a row. You're right.
Yeah. Oh, the Packers did do it. Yeah, they sure did.
Yeah, they did that.
Actually, the first team to do it was the 05 Steelers.
Yeah.
But that was a little sketch. Because you got referees that apologized to Seattle. Yeah. Our late friend Maddie was cursing up a storm, and Shark is being like, Zabra's a shit. Anyway, let's get back to and Maddie, in case you're watching from above, the referees still suck, pal. Sunday game 1, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 10-8, taking the trip to the Motor City to take on the 12-6 Detroit Lions. Last week, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers quieted the naysayers about them not belonging in the playoffs because the previous week, they barely beat the Carolina Panthers. There was no question who the better team was in Florida this night. They beat the shit out of the Eagles. Yeah. Nick Sirianni getting popcorn thrown on him.
That was wild.
That was wild.
Yeah, I saw that.
He had a big box of it, too.
What's going on with Philly? They went from Big Dick Nick Foles to dickhead Nick Sirianni. What's going on?
Sirianni and Kelsey retired.
Sorry on it.
Well, there's been some backup on that about Kelsey maybe not making a decision just yet. You know how that goes with these guys.
Yeah.
Tom Brady retired. Tom Brady retired 2 years in a row on my birthday without actually retiring.
Yeah.
Bro, on your birthday, I end up in the hospital. On my birthday, Tom Brady retires.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
You actually ended up at the hospital twice on my birthday.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. But no. Back to the game, boys. I like Detroit at home. The grit The grit is making this team happen. I love what Campbell's doing with them. Like I love the combination of Gibbs and Montgomery. That is a solid 1-2 combo punch regarding the running game. St. Brown is still an all-star.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and Laporta, he's going to come back healthier than what he was last week. Their only problem is what we've been talking about all year is that leaky secondary. So, if Evans gets loose, Godwin gets loose, I mean, this could be a really, really close battle, really high scoring battle, like a 34, 34-31 matchup kind of thing. I'm still going to take Detroit though. I like the home team in this matchup. And I love the way that Goff is playing right now. And the way that Campbell has that team playing, they're ready. They're ready to take that next step. So I'm taking Detroit 34-31. It's gonna be tight. 34-31 at home.
So you got a bit of a shootout here.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
You got Baker and Goff both lighting it up. I can see that. I don't think it's a far stretch considering that Detroit has the leaky secondary, Tampa has the receivers, but Detroit also has their fair share of playmakers. Idris, what do you got?
I'm going Detroit. I think Goff winning this past weekend for Detroit, that stadium is going to be just crazy.
Yep.
And Goff knows I got these guys. I got them. Let me keep it moving. Gibbs and Montgomery, they're going to get their yards. St. Brown, he does what he does. I think Hutchinson's going to get to Baker a couple of times. I think Baker might run right into him, to be honest with you.
But fumble Baker.
Yeah, I think he's going. I think Baker's going to run right into Hutchinson. He's going to get 2 sacks. But I'm going to go Detroit 34, Tampa 21.
Okay, all right.
I got something a little closer to what Idris is looking like. Why is my alarm going off? I got something similar to what Idris has going here. I do see it being somewhat close, mainly because I think Detroit might kind of crap out on a couple of drives where they got to settle for field goals. But in the end, I could see it maybe a situation where Detroit is up like by 6 or 7, and an untimely pick from Baker, an untimely pick 6, turns the game out for the Lion victory, and everybody just feels so good. My cousin AJ is the first time that he'll ever see what an NFC title game looks like. That's just really awesome. I think about it. I'm like, Jesus, this kid hasn't seen anything.
Yeah, I'm rooting for the Lions, man. Ever since I watched Hard Knocks, I've been rooting for them.
Yeah.
And I'm happy for the former Giant Dan Campbell. He was a member of our 2000 NFC champion team that lost to the
Red Ravens,
to, in some people's opinion, the greatest defense of all time. Some people will say the 85 Bears. No answer is wrong. I got the Lions winning this thing 34-20. Anzalone for the pick 6 puts it out of reach in the final moments on a drive that looks like the Bucs might be threatening to tie. Detroit parties. And then it's going to be the David and Goliath matchup with the Detroit Lions taking the trip to Frisco. And similar to what happened way back in 1991 season when they played the Washington Redskins, it's going to be a David and Goliath matchup, and the Lions are probably going to lose again. But, it'll be a great story for the Lions to come this far. We'll see. I still think it took a grand set of circumstances for the Lions and Bucs to play in round 2. That grand circumstance being that the Dallas Cowboys really choked. Sunday game 2, this is the game of the week, in my opinion, possibly the game of the playoffs. The Kansas City Chiefs are taking the trip to upstate New York to take on the Buffalo Bills. They have twin records of 12-6. This is the team's second meeting this year. The first one saw Patrick Mahomes go tantrum mode in Arrowhead complaining to Josh Allen, smacking his helmet around on a hot mic. This marks the first time in the Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes era that they are on the road in a game that is not a Super Bowl game. Buffalo has had their number in the regular season. Kansas City has had their number in the playoffs. Keys to victory for both teams are actually quite similar. The Chiefs' keys to success this whole year has been running the ball well, low risk, high efficiency passing, because they don't have the kind of star-studded offense that they had in years previous, and playing great defense. Steve Spagnuolo has done a tremendous job with this defense. The premier coordinator, in my opinion, on defense. Everybody talks about Dan Quinn. Good for you. It's Steve Spagnuolo. Steve Spagnuolo was the architect that shut down the greatest offense of all time. That's the 07 Patriots. The Chiefs' running game and defense has lifted them. We know this. The Bills' defense must drive the ball. Like what I'm saying is they've got to push the issue.
Yeah.
The Bills have to push the issue. They don't have the same defense that they had a few years ago, but they have to force Patrick Mahomes into untimely decisions. Von Miller has to turn it back a couple of years and turn it up a couple of notches.
Yeah.
Dude, they're home. It's the Bills.
They gotta win.
They better win. Put this fucking Kelsey and Swift shit to bed for the year. I am tired of this shit. Buffalo Bills, circle the wagons, boys. Buffalo 34, Kansas City 27. Bills by a touchdown. This is the kind of game, usually, that the team with the ball last wins. And I understand that Patrick Mahomes has not had the kind of year that he's used to having. On this particular game, this is going to be where both quarterbacks stud out. You're going to see the best of both of them. But the Bills are going to be a score better because the Bills have a little bit more, and what they have most importantly is the Bills Mafia. If this game was in Kansas City, I think the Chiefs would find a way to win. They're not going to go into Buffalo and take this from the Bills. Bills will have a date with the Ravens.
I'm going Buffalo too. I'm going 31-24. I'm tired of the Taylor Swift and Kelsey thing too, but you know why I want them to, and I've never in my entire lifetime, have ever rooted against the Chiefs. Never. My uncle that got me into football, he was a diehard Chiefs fan. I got a chance to meet Otis Taylor. I've never in life ever rooted against the Kansas City Chiefs, except when they play the Giants. But Kadarius Toney is on that team.
I can't stand that bastard.
I don't want him to win. Other than Cowboy fans and the Cowboys, I can't stand.
I always rooted for the Chiefs too back in the day because Tony Gonzalez, Derek Thomas, when Joe Montana was there, I liked them. Reese Holmes, Trent Green.
Always liked them.
I never had a thing against them, but I'll be honest, dude. I watched quarterback, and while I loved what I saw from Mariota and Cousins, it made me look at Patrick Mahomes as a whiny little bitch.
He's really gotten whiny lately too.
Yes.
So I don't want Kadarius Toney to celebrate anymore. I want him to ride off into the sunset because I don't even think he's on the active roster because I didn't see him.
Nobody has come up more short in heartbreakers over the last 3 or 4 years than Josh Allen. Yeah. And when I see the way that Josh Allen conducts himself after a loss, never complains, never throws nobody under the bus, always a professional. Stephon Diggs and him, the best of friends, fierce competitors. And I think for so long, the media has tried so hard
to
break these two apart, to work these two against each other. I think these two have been above the bullshit. And I think these two are going to shine in one of the biggest moments of their dual careers. And they're going to be one game away from the Super Bowl after this weekend.
Yep.
The first Super Bowl appearance will be on the line. First since, 1993, 94. All the way.
Like
yeah, you're talking about
30 years ago.
The fourth in a row.
30 years ago almost.
Jim Kelly, the K-Gun offense, Marv Levy.
Thomas. Yeah.
You boys are bringing back
Talley, Cornelius
Bennett. Yeah.
So, listen, boys. To quote Marv Levy, Where else would you rather be than right here, right now?
And
Bills
win it
Mafia.
for Marv. Win it for
Bills-
Marv.
Bills Mafia is gonna continue to do what they do. They're gonna continue to break tables, and I don't see Buffalo. I don't see Buffalo losing this game. Not this time. Not this time. They have a home game in front of the crowd. KC is not the same team they were in the past. Now's their time to put them away. If there's no Taylor Swift, there's no victory.
That's right.
All right. So I'm going Bills here, representing the AFC East all day long. I'm going to say 34-23. Home win, Bills advance, AFC Championship game.
No more.
I think Allen's going to have a hell of a game. And Richie, you hit on Diggs. I think he's gonna have a coming out party, and I think James Cook is gonna have one hell of a day too. But that Kincaid, man, that guy's the real deal.
Yeah,
that guy is the real deal. He can have a really big game and put Kelsey to shame in this one. So, oh yeah. So I got Bills coming on top, boys. They're gonna advance.
I'm just tired of Tony. I just want him to be.
Yes, I'm tired of the Chiefs, dude. And it's not. And listen, the Chiefs have great fans, and they suffered for a long time before finally hitting the pinnacle. But it's like I've seen the bitching and the moaning from Mahomes, and what really cracked me up with that whole situation was that I'm like, wait a minute, what happened with the Sauce Gardner play? Did that not happen? The Chiefs for so long have been beneficiaries of so many great calls. That's why I thought it was kind of comical that he won. And I get it. That was more of a cry out about how hard the season has been because he don't have no more Tyreek Hill. He has a bunch of guys who drop a bunch of passes. And his best tight end keeps dropping passes too because he's been distracted.
How's he say? I'm trying to get the voice. I can't do the.
Oh, the Kermit?
I can't do the Kermit.
Yeah.
I try, but I can't do it. I can't do it, man.
This ain't the Kermit, but this is some shit that I did when I was a little kid. Eat it, piggy. That's a whole nother conversation.
Oh, yeah, that's hell, man.
Yo, Bratsky, are the Yankees going to get Blake Snell?
I mean, it wouldn't shock me if they do. I mean, why not? Why not? It really would not surprise me. I mean,
right, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, this is what the rotation looks like, assuming before this happens.
Yeah.
Hit me.
We have Garrett Cole as our ace. Rodon is 2. Stroman is 3. Cortez is 4. Schmidt is 5. You bring in Blake Snell, he becomes a top 3 in that rotation. Mm-hmm. That would force Cortez and Schmidt to fight it out for the 5 spot, and one of those guys becomes long relief. In your opinion, out of Schmidt and Cortez, who is best suited to be the long relief man for the 2024 Yankees?
I got to go Cortez.
I tend to agree with you on that.
I got to Cortez. I think he's a great middle relief. The 6 to 8 inning time frame. I think he's a better fit for that middle relief. It's just that my personal opinion on it.
The reason I agree with you to a level is because he doesn't throw a lot of hard stuff.
Mm-mm.
I actually think that it would work out rather well if it works out that way. Yeah, I actually do.
Yeah.
And I also want to ask you, Brett, about this. These are some random sports topics that have been going on that are on my brain.
You said Stroman 3, right?
As of right now, Rodon is going to be in that.
Oh no, you said Rodon 2, Stroman 3. Or was it which one?
Yeah, but you get Snell jumps Stroman.
Get Snell, he'll jump. Yeah, he'll jump him.
Yeah, okay.
And honestly, he should jump Rodon too.
Yeah, and drop Stroman down to 4 and Schmidt and have what's the name?
Cortez. Okay. Cortez would become your long relief guy.
Yeah.
I want to ask you guys about this too.
Mm-hmm.
Dynamic duo that didn't look like very dynamic last year. Luka and Kyrie. This year, it looks like it's really starting to work, where Kyrie is finally worried about basketball, and Luka is leading the league in scoring and looking like a friggin' MVP. Do you think the Dallas Mavericks are for real this time?
I think so. I think with last year, I think it was getting to learn each other, know each other, because they just bought. I mean, because they scored their points, but they couldn't win together. And I think over the offseason, they got a chance to bond. They come back this year. They know their roles. And we see it's working in with Kyrie. Like, no one ever questioned Kyrie's skill. The guy has mad skill. It's like, where was he up here?
One of the most skillful players in the league, like, bottom line. That'll never be questioned.
If you notice, he's out of the New York, Boston area.
Mm-hmm.
Jersey, he's out of that area, the metro area, including Boston. And now he's out in Dallas, where it's a whole different type of vibe. And I think that gets him away from, and this, I mean, whatever he did socially, that's fine. That's cool. But in that environment, in Texas, it's a little different. We want you to play basketball. And I think that's where his mind is. Because he knows he doesn't have that many more stops left.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yo, you better make it here. Because if you don't make it here, you might find yourself somewhere like Detroit. What I mean?
Yeah.
Detroit is somewhere like that. Because who's gonna want you? And you don't want to go to Detroit because they think about
my God,
Clark,
you talk about a once proud organization. My God, how the Pistons have fell.
They might pick Caitlin Clark.
I mean, I love the 1-2 combo. I mean, it's a good mix, but come postseason, we all know that's a different animal. My opinion, Denver is still the team to beat in the West, and they're still champs. Until somebody knocks them off, nobody can tell me otherwise. But they are for real. I don't see them winning a championship this year.
Oh no,
not this year.
No,
not this year.
Let me speak on Caitlin Clark right quick because somebody had mentioned, and I was joking, but someone had mentioned about Caitlin Clark being drafted. I said the girl could shoot. I said, but it wouldn't work in the NBA. She's too small. She's too thin. She's too light in the ass. She can shoot, but it's a whole different game when you get on the floor with some men. I said, because they're gonna pick her up like.
Yeah, I don't think that she would be able to necessarily take the physical wear and tear.
Yeah, the wear and tear that would take her.
I mean, if we're going to be honest, going back revisionist history with other great women's players, two names that stand out that I actually do believe could have played with the dudes: Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Miller.
I say definitely Cheryl Miller. Definitely Cheryl Miller.
No, boys. Since we're on the NBA topic. This kind of caught my eye the other day. In Chicago.
Oh man.
The crowd, the crowd booing the Krause family and Jordan not participating in the ceremony. Dennis Rodman was there. Yeah. Jordan was not there. And apparently the Chicago not a friendly group of people that night.
The wife was crying. The Krause's wife was crying. Like they need to do that.
So that's just something I don't want to see in any kind of sporting event. A lot
of that had to do with the way that it was depicted in The Last Dance.
Yeah, because Krause basically just broke the team up like, no matter what, this is it.
My bottom line is this. Yeah, he broke them up. I get it. But he also put them together.
Yeah.
He also put them together.
Bottom line. I think Jordan and Pippen could have showed up.
The fact that they didn't says so much to me.
Yeah, they could have showed up. This was
simple. Yeah.
Prior to the beef with Jordan and Pippen was more frequent going to some of these things. Jordan's never been around that team.
He's never been around.
Post-retirement. And I'm sorry, dude. It says a lot to me. And this is what did I say on the last show about families? The Laker family, the Steeler family, the Cowboy family, the da-da-da. Just naming a few teams. The Bulls are a moment in time. They don't have that same lineage. And this kind of shit proves it.
Yeah.
While we talk about some lineage and some recent champions, Warriors and Lakers, are they both done?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, absolutely. We're all on the same page.
Absolutely.
The
Yeah,
Warriors.
they fell off, man. They fell off.
They're both done. They're both father
they're
time,
both
dude.
done.
Father time.
Undefeated,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
That
father
Warriors
time.
team
The Lakers haven't done shit since they won the in-season tournament, which, in my opinion,
I
is
know. Yeah.
trash.
I thought it was a trophy.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
LeBron's gonna end up back in Miami. I'm telling you, boys.
He is.
He's going
Yeah,
back to Miami.
I saw something like that. I don't know.
I think he's going back.
He's going.
We'll see. I mean, he could take his talents to South Beach again. Who knows? It is what it is. But yeah, no, Lakers are toast. Golden State's toast. Steve Kerr is probably done after the season. I think he's kind of lost that locker room.
He's definitely lost that locker room. Shout out Sergio Rodriguez. He called this out roughly a month ago when he appeared on the comments on my show, saying that he felt like Steve Kerr being a bit of a snowflake and not checking Draymond. Yeah. And I do believe he did indeed lose this locker room. OG's impact on the New York Knicks.
Positive.
I love it. I think the RJ Barrett trade is a beneficial one because I'll tell you the truth, man. Since getting OG, I feel that Julius Randle's role has grown in the positive team-like way where Jalen Brunson is becoming just the full-faceted superstar that I know he could be. Julius Randle is comfortably the number 2 scorer on this team right now. And OG just brings like this energy along with DiVincenzo, along with Josh Hart. You know, and the Knicks are not done. I still think there could potentially be one more move.
I love it, man. Because see now, my bad. Brunson can play his role. He can play his role. Randle is playing his role. He's not trying to play point guard or not. He's playing his role. You shoot the ball. You take it to the hole. OG is just like everywhere.
Yes.
Good trade.
Yes.
I love it, man. I love it.
At first I was a little skeptical, but after seeing what he has done, the thing I like about this is even when the Knicks lose, like we lost a close one to Dallas by 4 points.
Yeah.
We lost a close one to Orlando by 4 points.
Yep.
But the thing is the Knicks never look bad when they lose, and I could live with that. Celtics or Bucs?
Lose games like we would be up in this. Bro, this year's different.
Celtics.
Or Bucs?
Celtics.
I'm gonna give Celtics the edge.
That makes 3 of us right now.
Yeah,
that makes 3 of us. Kristaps Porzingis, what he means to this roster, in my opinion, completes them. I really mean that. All the way back on game 1, when he turned it on against his former New York Knicks team, it really showed me a lot.
Dude, I thought he was done after Dallas. It went to
I'm not gonna lie.
He was just a journey. I thought he was done.
I'm not gonna lie.
No, he fits that roster perfectly though. Absolutely perfect. Perfect fit for him. The way they do it and the way they run the court. It's a good fit for him. It really is. And their record at home shows it.
Yeah, they're incredible in the Garden.
Have they lost at home yet?
Not to my recollection.
No. They're still undefeated at home.
Yeah.
Shaq finally gets to the Orlando Raptors. This is a long time coming.
Yeah.
Miami Heat have already retired him. Los Angeles Lakers have already retired him. I gotta say, this is the great what if. He and Penny, one of the greatest what ifs in NBA history. We said it on the most recent show. We talked about it last show. Brett, last minute is yours. Penny and Shaq, what could have been?
Oh, man. In that era, Bulls era, all that stuff. I mean, I would have loved to see them win a championship. That's why I still play with them in NBA 2K. I want to see that championship. I want to see the Penny, Shaq, Nick Anderson, Dennis Scott, Horace Grant. I would have loved to see them put up a rafter, man. And it sucks it didn't happen. It's just it's hurtful, but he's long overdue. Long overdue.
They were too young, too immature. Shaq admitted that his one legitimate career regret was not making it right with Orlando, or maybe staying long enough and then leaving. But I'm happy that he's getting up there. Well-deserved, because he was that dude. For Idris and for Brett, I am Richie. Thank you for watching. We will be back soon.